Yeah, but that one is distinctly wider, isn't it? Distinctly bigger. The lids look a bit flatter. The lids don't look the same length as these lengths here on these.
Well,
the lids are much shorter, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're all a bit different.
They're all different, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
It's the same again. They've got this.
Yeah.
This thing being wrapped around. See there?
Yeah.
It's almost like a tobacco leaf with that around, isn't it?
That's a bit more certainly leather. If you look on this one,
Yeah.
so you can see the
The
flesh,
wrinkles.
the grain. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
How do we get a leather around them like that, though? How do you, I don't understand it. How do you
See,
wrap
like that-
leather
like that
around
as well,
something
it's-
like that?
It's definitely. It's not dipped, is it? That's something that's been wrapped round,
yeah,
and,
definitely.
and they've not pushed it round the
Can you
the
see that
sharp
one close up
corners.
there, Anna? Let's here. I'll pick that one up there. Can you see that in there, where that wrapping is? And you see how it creates that kind of smoothing out of the collar that makes some people think that that's how they're turned, and they're not. They're actually turned
Dead
straight.
sharp.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
turned sharp, but you can clearly see there how the coating or whatever it is they put on there has taken away that sharpness and made people think that they're actually sloping. Some people are actually making them sloped like this on this one because they think that's how they turn, and they're not. They're actually turned
You
sharp
probably
in
need
the
to go
same
to
way
a,
we would.
need to go to a tanner's to find how
Yeah.
thin
Yeah,
the skin you can get.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
different. I mean, skin parchment is different from leather, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Sounds silly.
scraped vellum,
Yeah.
like what you use
Yeah.
for a manuscript,
Yeah.
is decently thin.
Mm.
And if you soaked it and stretched it a bit more, you'd imagine you'd get it even thinner.
I mean, you get chamois leathers, which are
Yeah.
very thin,
But,
don't they?
yeah,
That's
but
true,
there's a
yeah.
difference between parchment
Yeah.
skin, isn't there, and leather.
Mm.
Yeah, well, the parchment and vellum's been scraped down to within an inch of its life,
Right.
so
Yeah.
it's that thin, and you've got taken all the hairy bits
Mm.
off of
Is
it.
it pig skin as well, or is it just
Uh,
anything they come across?
Pig skin, calf skin is more more common.
Yeah, isn't vellum? What's the other one?
I don't know.
There's two different names, and wasn't it supposed to be as one which animal it came off?
Oh yeah, yeah, there is, and I can't remember now.
I've always
Different
tended to
type.
hear the term vellum,
Yeah.
but sometimes it can be lambskin. I think if it's real
Yeah.
posh. But
Yeah.
that's
Vellum is supposed to come from veal, though, isn't it? Isn't that's its
Or the calf.
derivative.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's calf,
yes.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is that your other one would not have been called vellum
But would
simply
it be
because
this
it didn't
colour?
come
If
from.
it was vellum that was being used, would it be this colour?
Well, they probably dipped it as well.
Tanned it, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see why not.
Yeah.
If I was going to use something with gunpowder, I'd want it black anyway, because it's going to get black and stained and horrible, isn't it? So why
Yeah.
not have it black to start with?
So,
Definitely, there's a wrapping. There's a definite right angle there, isn't there?
Just
Yeah.
occasionally you can see puckers where it didn't, where it kind of bubbled a little bit.
But if you look again at the one I've made that's simply painted, look at the puckering on that, you see, as well.
but you're not get to see this one here. See there where it's
Yeah.
it's being stretched over there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
get that with a paint, would
No,
you?
you wouldn't. No, if this came up, well, I don't know how the paint would peel, but no, you're right. It wouldn't go like that. The overall effect looks similar with the painting, and of course the instruction was to paint anyway.
See,
in
on
the
that
period.
see that one there's quite thick as well.
Yeah.
But I said they've got that ripple effect there, like you would get from a
But it's
piece of leather.
it's glued on. It's not stitched, is it?
No,
Whereas
it
the
has to
German
be.
ones
There's
have
no
definite
stitching.
stitching now.
Yeah, something that'd be interesting to do is kind of, I can't remember his name, but last time I was at the Reenactors Market in Coventry,
Yeah.
there's a guy who basically portrays a medieval scribe, and he makes
Yeah.
books. He's learned all the handwritings
Yes.
and everything.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he sets up his shop
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
Might be interesting talking to him and his
Yeah.
lot about
Yeah.
saying, okay, something like that.
Yeah.
Can you get
Yeah.
vellum to behave this
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
and do that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. In
And
fact, that's
possibly even looking to him to source stuff if you wanted to experiment with it yourself.
the next tour is only next month. It's
Mhm.
November 6th, isn't it? Or something,
Yes, that's
isn't it?
right.
So yeah, 14th is it? Yeah. So yeah, we could do that then. Couldn't we?
Yeah,
That's
see,
a good idea.
You look around that and it's just
Right. I'm not sure how much we need to measure these because they're very big.
on some of the other ones.
No, I don't think it was. I haven't seen anything like that. What I have seen is some of them are knotted underneath here instead of running all the way through the hole. And I suspect what's happened with those is that when you're using them, they'd start originally like this, and you'd want them individually done like this, of course. You wouldn't want all the string running all the way along, because if you lost one, you'd lose the whole lot then, it'll all unravel. So you could only lose one. But I suspect what would happen over time, this would wear, and so what they would do is simply tie a knot in the bottom, you know, to then keep it in place, you know what I mean? Because, you know, instead of putting a whole new piece of string round, they just put a knot there and a knot on the other side, yeah. Because some of them are like that. These aren't, but some others are.
And you can
know.
see the way that this has worn here.
It
It would indicate that the string
was
has been
there,
slightly
yeah.
cut in.
Because it's actually
and
worn under it,
caused the
isn't it?
damage.
Yes,
Um,
yeah. And these are ones that, again, are unlikely to have actually been used in combat, because they're just part of the Tower Arsenal. So, and they're still worn there anyway, haven't they? But,
Or they'd have been worn as a demonstration thing, perhaps, or as a dress.
yeah. Can we see if we can identify the wood again on these?
And probably
This one
use
looks
the
quite
one on
loose.
the end because
Yeah,
it
this one?
seems like it's in
Yeah.
the best shape.
This one, yeah.
All of them, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's use this one then, yeah. So if you look at that one. Right.
Same kind of wood.
Yeah.
Can't spot any grain, can it? That's big.
Yeah, it's a very thin wall and a very wide bore on that one, isn't it? So I would suspect if they're boring that much over such a size that they wouldn't need to open that one out, would they? Because that's a very wide bore to begin with, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, again, you can see that's been turned as well in there, can't you? You know. And again, that's hard to tell, that wood, isn't it? But I can hardly see any wood on there that, to me, makes that some kind of a fruit wood. I mean, that looks to me like. That looks to me like old lime, like lime wood. That's. I've got some lime at home that I've had for about 20 years, and it looks like that kind of colour. And with lime, you can't see the grain in it, can you really? And it's a very easy wood to turn as well, lime. I can hardly see any grain at all in that. I really can't. But again, you can see the coating around the edge, can't you, on that one as well? And then you can see a hole in the coating there where the string's gone through there as well. So, you know, it's definitely...
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. So, definitely, that one is definitely coated in something, isn't it? But,
You want to try and
yeah, can we see...
just stick that down it?
Oh,
What?
I think you can see that's... Well, there's a shaping in there.
Can you actually see down there then, can you, there, with that?
There's your torch. I think your torch, you might see that.
If you take a
Big.
picture of it, if it flashes, it might... I don't know.
How do you turn it on?
It's those three buttons at the top, you push them forward. You have to wind it up first though, it's a wind up mode.
No, there's something.
No, it's rubbish, isn't it? Did you wind it up?
No, I can see light in it.
No, you have to wind it up first. Yeah. Video down there as well while he's got the light on. You can't get in there.
Right.
Can you see that sort of shelf in there? So you seem to go like, inch and a half or two
It's
down.
you know what I'm saying about these
Yeah.
this rifling? It's
Yeah.
the same in there, a lot finer.
Yeah,
Straight grooves going
Yeah.
down.
yeah. Like they use some kind of corkscrew thing or something, yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
Or
it,
scraping out your...
it just
Yeah.
looks like a round file they've shoved down just to
Yeah.
smooth it off on the inside or something.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it's not because you can't.
Oh, you
see-
mean they go down straight down like that?
Mm.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's just.
Oh, a groove all the way down.
Yeah,
like
they've gone down and obviously when they've done it, they've sort of done that just to clean it out with a little file.
like an internal router. type
No,
of
no,
thing.
just a file, a round file.
Ah, right. Crikey. So
It's
what
a
they
lot,
might have
lot,
done?
lot closer together on that than on the other one.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Right.
Because at first glance you think, oh, it looks like grain, but you can't see any grain anywhere else, and they're just so regular.
So what they might have done is taken some kind of an internal, very thin file, and then cut some grooves into it to the width that they want it, and then turned it out. You know, because it's easy to turn off those bits, isn't it, between the grooves?
So I don't know, or it's just they've just smoothed it out with the file.
Instead of actually turning it inside.
Because if it's not smooth there, presumably when they're pouring the gunpowder out, if it's not smooth, it'll stick. So they've just gone in with a file. In.
Yeah. 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 Oh, I see. So you think they've perhaps opened out the bore inside by turning it, and then what they've done is they've smoothed it with a file afterwards just to take
Yeah.
the turning marks away.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
so it flows out.
Because mine with the hollowing tool will be quite rough inside, won't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. That can be,
Ah,
so
so
they've
then
just
took a
gone in.
file
So
inside
this
to
bit
smooth it.
where the gunpowder actually,
Yeah.
well, I guess, will flow out rather than come out in lumps.
So they're still turned and hollowed out, but
Yeah,
possibly
finished
filed
off with
then
the file. It's a round file, and just
Yeah.
you can see the grooves.
Yeah.
It's very regular. And it's
Yeah.
not a grain.
Yeah. 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 All right. I can't see that at all, but.
I think I can take that with my pictures. Watch how you